Triol AT27. How to choose the right main equipment and the necessary options for the challenge. Triol medium voltage frequency drives are used to solve the following technological and economic problems for an enterprise. Control of key technological processes with powerful motors. Integration of new critical equipment with minimal impact on the enterprise's other infrastructure. Implementation of a profitable investment. Creation of new opportunities to increase the competitiveness of the enterprise. Creation of a single fleet of powerful drives at the enterprise with a single control logic and element base. To solve all of these challenges in the most profitable way, you need to perform the following steps. Choose the right main equipment and the necessary options for the challenge. Develop a project for the integration of new equipment with the existing or projected infrastructure of the enterprise. Quickly and reliably introduce new critical equipment. Introduce a monitoring system for key indicators of the technological process and the equipment itself. Prepare, train, and provide personnel for the further successful operation of equipment, networks, options, and monitoring systems. In this tutorial, we will tell you in detail how to choose the right Triol AT27 model. Medium voltage frequency drives offer the possibility to efficiently control motors that actuate various mechanisms and devices, such as pumps, fans, compressors, and mills. Each motor, the mechanism, and the process as a whole have their own characteristics and a set of requirements. Therefore, the selection of the correct type of VFD is the key to the success and efficiency of the production equipment and the entire technological process. A wide power range of Triol AT27 frequency drives from 160,000 watts to 8 million watts. A wide range of voltage groups from 3.3 thousand volts to 11,000 volts. And housing designs from IP31 to IP66 allow you to select the VFD exactly for the required conditions of the enterprise. A feature of Triol AT27 VFDs is the fact that the choice of the VFD model doesn't depend on the type of motor, synchronous or asynchronous. All of the functionality of these motors is available in the basic version of any of the AT27 variable frequency drives. To select the VFD, you should use the VFD's naming structure, which contains all the necessary characteristics and parameters of the equipment. The AT27 naming contains the following information: active power, input voltage, output voltage, product line, AT27 main circuit options, AT27 construction options, AT27 additional options, wiring option for AT27 RX line, only for RX line. This is how the names of AT27 converters will look after completing the selection procedure. Now for the step-by-step name selection of the AT27 VFD. The first step in forming the name of the AT27 VFD is to determine the parameters of the input voltage. It is also the voltage of the power supply. The AT27 supports the following power supply standards, which are available for selection and are coded in the name of the AT27 as follows. The second step in forming the name of the AT27 is to determine the parameters of the output voltage. The AT27 output voltage is determined by the value of the rated voltage of the connected electric motor. For the future, it is useful to know that the output voltage of the variable frequency drive determines the number of power cells in each phase of the AT27, as well as the total pulse rate of the rectifier. We call this number of cells the base number of cells. We call the other number of the cells in a phase optional. If the motor has standard voltage, then select from the table, according to the value in the output voltage column. If the motor voltage differs from the standard voltage range, then select the value closest to the top. The third step in forming the name of the AT27 is to determine the VFD output power. The AT27 name indicates the active output power of the inverter for the range of output voltages used in Triol. If the product of efficiency and power factor of the electric motor is more than 0.8, the active output power of the inverter is equal to the motor power. If the product of efficiency and power factor of the electric motor is less than 0.8, the selection of the power inverter is carried out in the catalog, considering the rated output voltage and current AT27 VFD. Select the variable frequency drive from the catalog where rated output current at the required output voltage is the higher closest value compared to the rated current of the connected motor. If we are talking about heavy starts with an overload coefficient of more than 120%, the choice of the inverter power is carried according to the recalculated value of the output current of the electric motor, according to the following formula, where IVFD is the estimated value of the VFD current, K is the overload coefficient, I-rated EM is the rated current of the electric motor. If the rated voltage of the motor falls out of a series of applied voltages in Triol, selection of power and drive is from the catalog, where the closest large inverter output voltage and rated current is chosen. For example, for electric motors with rated voltage of 5.5 thousand volts and a rated current of 131 amperes, it is necessary to choose the inverter rated output voltage of 6,000 volts and a rated current of 155 amperes, as for example in designation of the selected power of the inverter for various AT27 items. The fourth step in forming the name of the AT27 is the choice of the AT27 product line. The choice of the product line is based on the climatic conditions of operation and the conditions for placing AT27. The following AT27 product lines are available for indoor use: ED, Energy Drive; DD, Dependable Drive; MV, Might of Voltage. The following AT27 product lines are available for outdoor use: DD, Dependable Drive; MV, Might of Voltage; RX, Robust X-Form. When choosing an AT27 product line, it is necessary to pay attention to the limits of the permissible active power for a given output voltage. The fifth step in forming the name of the AT27 is to select options for the AT27 power supply. Available options: transformer with copper windings, basic version with aluminum; bypass power cells; plus one cell per phase. Additional power circuit options are available for AT27 RX line. Built-in reactor for transferring the motor to the main and vice versa. Built-in sine filter. For ED, MV, and DD lines, the output reactor and sine filter are in separate cabinets. In addition to the listed single power circuit options, various combinations of power circuit options are available in the AT27. Each available power circuit option has a unique designation. Choose the one that suits you. For example, when ordering a frequency drive with a set of power circuit options, transformer with copper windings, option designation 1. Bypass of power cells, option designation 2. Plus one cell per phase, option designation 3. We get a combination of power circuit options. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals D. The sixth step in naming the AT27 VFD is to select the design and AT27 options. Available options: increased IP enclosure, alternative operating temperature range, power cable entry from above, Side entry of power cables. Heating system. Input sensor and current. Like the power supply options, various combinations of design options are available in the AT27. Each available option has its own unique designation. For example, when ordering a variable frequency drive with a set of design options, increased IP enclosure, option designation 1. Alternative operating temperature range, option designation 2. We get a combination of power circuit options. 1 plus 2 equals A. The seventh step in forming the name of the AT27 is to select additional AT27 options. Available options: cooling fan redundancy, additional coating of printed circuit boards, electromagnetic door lock, burglar alarm, applicable only for RX version, auxiliary power supply 480 volts, built-in auxiliary transformer. Various combinations of additional options are available in the AT27. Each combination of additional options has its own unique designation. For example, when ordering a VFD with a set of additional options, electromagnetic door lock, option designation 3, built-in auxiliary transformer, option designation 7. We get a combination of additional options. 3 plus 7 equals T. For the RX line block box design, 3 additional options are available related to the choice of power switching. The choice of power switching has its own characteristics. We will devote a separate tutorial to the rules for selecting switching options. As an example, consider a specific selection of a variable frequency drive or a power unit compressor, Dresser Rand Datum D16R10B. Having the following parameters, working under the following conditions, with a set of required options shown on the screen. Step 1. Determine the input voltage of the VFD. Supply network 6000 volts is the supported standard of the supply main for AT27 and is coded in the designation with symbol 6. Step 2. Determine the output voltage of the VFD. In the output voltage of the motor 6000 volts, the motor voltage value falls within the standard Triol voltage range, and according to the voltage selection table, corresponds to the output voltage of the inverter with symbol 6. Step 3. Determine the output power of the VFD. A sludge aggregative Dresser Rand Datum D16R10B with a 4920 kilowatts electric motor, 6000 volts, 560 amperes. ETA 0.974. Cosine phi equals 0.87. Fan operating characteristic: start up without overload. The product of the efficiency and power factor of the electric motor is more than 0.8. Therefore, the active power of the VFD is equal to the power of the electric motor, rounded up to the catalog higher value of 5000 kilowatts, or in the destination 5M0. Step 4. Choosing the AT27 product line. Required climatic version: UHL4, dry, heated, and ventilated room, operating temperature +1 + 40 degrees Celsius, which corresponds to the ED product line. We check the selected line according to the limits of the permissible active power of 5000 kilowatts for a given output voltage of 6000 volts. The selected power corresponds to the permissible power range for the selected product line. Step 5. Choosing the power circuit options. Power transformer with copper windings is required. It is required to maintain the performance of the VFD when the power cell fails. If one power cell fails, It is required to ensure the operation of the inverter without limiting the output voltage. According to the Power Circuit Acceptable Options table, this preset option combination corresponds to the D symbol. Step 6. Selecting AT27 Design Options. Execution is basic, which corresponds to the symbol 0. Step 7. Choosing additional AT27 options. Additional options for operation are not required, which corresponds to the character 0. In total, we get the name AT27 VFD, providing its following technical capabilities: frequency drive with an operating voltage of 6,000 volts and an output power of 5,000 kilowatts. Designed for placement in a heated and ventilated room, it has an IP31 enclosure, operating temperature range +1 to +40 degrees Celsius. The power transformer is equipped with copper windings. The power section contains an additional power cell in each AT27 phase. Power cells are equipped with a bypass function using Hopcod trademark technology. Formation of an investment program aimed at modernization or development production. A responsible task, the implementation of which makes the enterprise more competitive in today's economic environment. See other materials on how to solve this challenge using Triol equipment. Work with Triol. Sell knowledge.